Yes, thank you so much, Debbie. You are doing an amazing job putting all this together. You've seen everyone showing up and learning and collaborating together, and so I am so happy to be here um, today to share some of our very special and unique Coldwell Banker Premier exclusive marketing platforms and tools and services, so that you all can really just have a better understanding. I think sometimes we kind of run into the good problem, bad problem of having so many tools and so many resources at our disposal that sometimes I'm just trying to figure out which one is the best for a certain situation, or really just which one is the best for your goals, and how everything works really kind of end to end can be a challenge sometimes. So we wanted to walk through some of these programs, tools, and resources that we talk about a lot on the company call and we link to and we mention, but just to go into in a little bit more depth and also be able to answer some questions that come up. So I will go ahead and start sharing. Let's see. Here we go. Alrighty. Can everyone hear me okay and see my screen? Perfect. Alrighty, so we are going to start off with Open House Concierge. This is, I heard Stephen mention, name it the crown jewel of Coldwell Banker Premier Marketing. I think that it probably has earned that distinction. It is something that almost half of our agents utilized last year, and it's really a fixture in the marketing efforts for some of our most successful agents, our most successful offices, and I think it's something that really any agent can and should utilize in their marketing efforts. So here we go, and we're going to probably jump back and forth between some of the more kind of not super exciting nuts and bolts, and then back to some of the figures that might be a little bit surprising, and hopefully motivate you all to utilize the program. So, okay. So could I see a raise of hands, or if you want to leave a chat if you have never used Open House Concierge before? So we have Sheila. So we have one first timer and then a few who have, okay. And Paula, okay. And so yeah, this will, as if you've never used Open House Concierge before, what this is really a complete marketing effort for your open houses. So it's really designed to take a lot of the lift off of you in terms of the print materials, in terms of the digital advertising, and really kind of equip you to show up professionally, to show up, with really everything that you need so that you could focus on the conversations that are going to grow your business and on field marketing that's going to grow your business. And as far as what is included, so I know we mentioned it kind of covers the gamut of your marketing for your open houses. So a social media ad is included, paid by the company. So Open House Concierge is a company paid platform, a company paid service for our Coldwell Banker Premier agents. And as part of that, the company pays for a social ad to drive traffic to your open house. We also provide an agent branded open house flyer, a door knocking kit with local market data, an agent branded social media graphic. So this is different than the social media advertising. This is just the graphic, and we send it to you for you to post on your Instagram profile, your Facebook profile, to help kind of just get the word out with your network. And also we provide a mortgage rate sheet co-branded with your preferred Success Mortgage loan officer, a seller prep guide, and a sign-in sheet and feedback form. And all of these items we're going to actually be able to take a look at in just a minute, just to kind of, so you have a visual for what this actually will look like and what you'll receive. Okay, and here is the timeline. This is something that I think we get so many questions about. I think daily, weekly, if not daily, we get questions about when does it due? When do we receive our materials? And we have it laid out all here for you. But essentially, your applications are, your open house concierge applications are due on Monday at midnight. From there, the train kind of starts rolling, and it's a big kind of internal and external concerted effort to get everything going. So once we hit Tuesday morning, there's not a whole lot we can do to accept new applications or to make major changes, because by Tuesday, our vendor team is scheduling the social ads, and by late Wednesday, early Thursday, your social ads are being displayed to users on social media. And then Thursday by end of day, you will receive your materials via email. And on Friday by noon, you will, if you had requested a print marketing materials, then those will be printed by either your office admin that you selected or your office manager, and ready for pickup at your office by noon. Okay, there's some more details, and I'll send out, I'll try not to bore you to death with every single word and sentence here, but I'll send this out after so you can have it as a reference for some of the timelines and extra details. And these are our numbers for 2026. So as of this morning, I pulled these. We've completed 480 open houses with over 1.4 million local impressions from our social ads. There were 45,982 total link clicks and 7,280 total leads that were delivered to our agents. And you'll see kind of how this plays out. I know on the individual agent level, like what this can actually look like is pretty crazy. So here's a couple different scenarios for you. So the first scenario is not your normal scenario, I will completely admit, but this is a very real scenario for one of the agents in our company. So one of our top open house concierge listing agent, who submitted the most open houses so far, as of May 18th this year, they have held 129 open houses so far. And as a result, and this is not the leads that came from door knocking or the guests walking into the open house and conversations that kind of have branched off of that. So that's not counting those leads. This is just the leads that have been delivered to them from the social ad campaign. Almost 2,000 is where they're sitting as of May. And so that's pretty significant, and I think would make just about anybody raise their eyebrows and say, okay, well, this might be something to consider to incorporate. And an additional thing here, which I know we're all stretched so thin between family life and professional life, and another big factor here is she's had over 322 hours saved so far this year. And that's the time it takes to make the flyers, to pull the market stats, to schedule ad campaigns, to print materials. On average, that would take about 2.5 hours a week. And so for each open house, our marketing team, your marketing team, covers that lift for you. And so a more realistic scenario, to be fair, we have it just broken down as if you hold one open house a week with your listing, then and that would have been 18 open houses so far this year, then you would have received 270 leads and then have saved 45 hours. So a whole work week this year so far. Was that surprising to anyone, or is that about what you guys have experienced? That's awesome. That's awesome. I see some of our frequent flyers here giving some good positive feedback. Let's see. Let's see. I think we had a question. Shelly was asking about some of the open house leads being rental seekers. So that is something we have worked with our vendor partner to try to hone in on in the past. I think some of the target audiences, it does overlap, and so that is a kind of contributing factor there. But if you ever notice, like if you ever have a week where there's kind of a big outlier where you are seeing a really high proportion of renter leads, or really anything kind of unusual, we actually had that happen a couple of weeks ago, and we're able to investigate. So if you'll let us know, we'll absolutely get with our vendor partner, especially if you see a pattern, to try to really hone in, and we may even be able to do some like more if you are in a special market, like maybe there's it would be more beneficial to target a feeder market, like outside of the immediate kind of radius of your listing. Then those are things that we can look into to help kind of hone in on that for you. So yeah, Shelly, please, like I said, please let us know, and we can always like the listing and then kind of just the situation you're experiencing, and we'll be happy to.
And just send you an email and let you know.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Shelly. All right. So as I mentioned, here are just some visuals for you for what these materials will look like. This is the paid social ad. And now this is not something that you personally, like as the agent, will see most likely, because we're targeting a different audience. So we're not targeting agents with these, we're targeting home buyers. And so like specifically home buyers. And so these, you won't likely see these in your social media feed when you're logged in and kind of cruising around. But you will know that your ad is live when you start to receive these leads coming in. So leads from your social ad. And how this kind of is set up is, as you can see here, there's like a registration wall where if they want to learn more and have more details, they're going to have to click through and submit their information. And then they'll be directed to your listing details page on premiermove.com. And this is the social graphic that you receive. And how we do this right now is if you're the listing agent and you're also the hosting agent, your information will be displayed here. And if there is a separate listing and hosting agent, then we will display the hosting agent here. But we will make a note of who the listing belongs to. So that's how that works for now. We do have plans in the future to expand that and also provide like in that scenario where there's a listing and a hosting agent, to also provide the listing agent with a social graphic specifically branded to them. So, and here is the agent branded flyer. We try to pull the best photos. Sometimes we kind of see a lot of variance in some of the listing photos. And I will say that if the better photos that we like, if we have great photos, that turns into a great looking marketing materials across the board for print and then also for digital. So, and another kind of thing to keep in mind here is just the sizing. So like if you're super zoomed in, on the front of the house, that can be a little bit challenging for us if those are the only photos provided in MLS. Or if it's like a portrait orientation, or just some different, if the sizing is not is like I said, too zoomed in, or just not high quality, or if you have maybe like some stuff laying out, or we all know, but those things make a huge difference in how the property is reflected, and the end result for these materials. Let's see. This is the door knocking kit, and this is a good opportunity, like just to get out and essentially try to win more listings while you're, while you're trying to sell your current listing, but also to get out and meet some neighbors and really to show them, what a thorough and good job you're doing marketing your current listing, and that you're really out and about being aggressive, trying to find a buyer for them. And so on the market trends report, there is year to date and average, like monthly averages for the number of new listings within the zip code of your specific listing, the average sales per square foot, average days on market, average list price, and average sales price, median sales price, and number of listings sold. So it really is, like I said, it's a good opportunity to kind of, of course, bring some interest in, and then also to kind of show off your skills as an agent, and to kind of start prospecting for new listings as well. I guess I'll go back here. Does anyone have any good stories or positive experiences with door knocking with using this information, or is it something that you guys have tried? No brave souls, huh? Well, I will say, I do think it's something that, it is a great conversation starter, like I mentioned, and a really, really great place to start to generate some new listings and some new interest. Yes, Maria.
Yes, I was just going to say it's very good information, and it does start conversations. And I haven't used it from door knocking per se, but used it as I'm reaching out to some of the contacts that I make or that you send me. And it just helps me to give them additional information about the area, the property, and what have you. So I found it very, very useful. In fact, I really enjoy the entire concierge process for the open houses. So thank you all for that.
Thank you so much, Maria. Alrighty. And this is pretty straightforward. So it's just a branded sign-in sheet for Cold Anchor Premier, and then also a seller prep checklist, so that you can get this over to the seller, just to make sure that everything is all the things that maybe they didn't consider are ready to go for the open house date. And here is the feedback form. So another opportunity really to kind of show your value to the seller, the work you've been doing, and also to provide just some real-time feedback. Maybe there's a situation or a scenario where you've been trying to convince them some type of a change that needed to happen with the home to try to make it more marketable, and they've been bucking you on it. And then they come, if you come to them with, several feedback forms completed, where they're essentially, you kind of have you have an army behind you of evidence as to maybe some changes that need to be made, or some feedback to help get the home sold. This is a good resource for that. And here is our Success Mortgage rate flyer. So like I mentioned earlier, when you go into the Open House Concierge application form, you'll be able to select your preferred loan officer with Success Mortgage, and we will create a mortgage rate sheet for you, and it'll break down with different loan programs And just as a kind of caveat here is that if it's, if it's a $1 million listing, it's not going to give you an FHA, loan estimate or figures here. It does, like the software that we use is it does filter, and so that's kind of helps avoid some confusion. So, like I mentioned, there's several different. It'll give you a breakdown of different loan programs and the estimated payments. And just as a starting point to kind of give people a point of reference. And then this will be branded to, we'll provide the contact information for the hosting agent and then also their preferred, like I mentioned, preferred success mortgage loan officer. Now, I am going to, so I included this essentially so you can have this as a resource after our meeting today. But these are all of our most frequently asked questions. And we see, kind of the same questions come through over and over again. So we wanted to kind of put this together so that you have a reference so that when something comes up and you're like, oh, is this the right situation? Or am I going to be too late? Or when is this coming? Or when am I going to see this? Or what's happening here? That you kind of have some of those answers in your pocket. And I will very briefly go ahead and show you kind of the process of, of submitting your open house concierge application. Let me change windows real fast. Alrighty. So this is our open house concierge application form, and this opens on Thursday morning, and it will close on Wednesday at midnight, Monday at midnight, and that is the Monday before the weekend open houses. That's kind of your deadline there. And so we'll kind of scroll through. You'll need to provide your company email, the MLS number. Let us know if it's a global luxury listing. And if you're not sure, or if you know that your home might be kind of in that price range and you're not sure if it does meet the qualifications, I'd recommend that you reach out to Kate Berkshire Mays. She'll be an excellent resource to kind of help you really across the board with that, and do kind of some of that research and prep work with you. You will include the property address, the hosting agent, listing agent name. It's totally fine if that's the same. And a note here about the open house day. If you have an open house, like let's say you had one this Saturday, and then you have another one next Saturday, and then the next Saturday, it would be helpful to us if you could submit separate application forms for those. For that type of a multi-day open house. But if it's a consecutive multi-day open house, so like a Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, or Friday through Sunday, or however it falls, then you can go ahead and select multi-day open house and let us know the time and date of the second day. Let's see. For this field, if you essentially want to kind of show off to your sellers and you want them to be part of the target audience for the open house concierge social ad that we run, then you can enter their email here and we'll create a custom audience so that the ad will be displayed to them, essentially just to kind of back you up and show the effort that you're making to market their home. And for this field, so you'll just let us know if you'd like printed materials, and if so, you'll let us know which office, and then from there, that's like I mentioned with the timeline earlier, you can have everything ready on Friday at noon for pickup for your print materials. This is where you'll select your the items that you want and your success loan officer, price, cell phone, address. Yep. And it's pretty, like, I would say probably takes just a minute or two to complete this every week. And then from there, you really can really be kind of hands off until you receive all your materials. Let's see. I'm going to switch back. Bear with me just a moment. Alrighty, and we will talk about power marketing. Or I guess before we move on, was there any questions specific to Open House Concierge that you all had? Well, I must have talked enough then.
I do have a question. If
Uh-huh.
there's a specific pictures that we would like to use in the concierge, in the flyers, can we submit those, or you all choose what pictures go there?
So it's not, I will say it's not required, or most of the time it's not common that an agent will provide the specific pictures, but there is a special notes section on the form. So if you have something, if there's something specifically that you like, any photos that you prefer, or if you notice we created your flyers and there was a picture that's included in the MLS that you really didn't want featured,
Okay.
you can email us and let us know.
Okay.
Or I
Thank
guess you
you.
would put it in the notes, and then you'd probably have to go ahead and email us the
And what time did you say that the information is released to us?
the materials?
Yes.
So you'll receive the link, so an email link directly to you on Thursday by the end of the day. And then only if you've requested print materials, those will be printed for you and ready in your office by noon on Friday.
Okay. So if changes need to be made to what you sent us, we just respond back to that email and reach out to you directly.
Yes. So if you have any changes, we can't, just because the sheer volume of open houses that we run through the program, we can't guarantee that we can make changes, especially if all the materials have been created or we're kind of the last hour. But we will try our best. It's just a lot of times it's just kind of like the train's left the station at that point. But so like if you had a price reduction, or there's a kind of special situation like that, do let us know, and we will try to accommodate as best as we can. And then of course, if you have a canceled open house, like let's say the home goes under contract or the seller cancels or whatever it may be, if you let us know as soon as possible, we do ask that so that we can go in and turn off the social ads so that we're not driving additional traffic to, the seller's home.
Okay.
and as well. So I think
Well,
Joanne
thank
had a
you.
question.
I'm not typing fast enough. You just answered it.
Okay, well, good.
Thanks.
Was there anyone else that had a question about Open House Concierge? Alrighty, well, we will keep on moving then. I know it took us quite a bit of time, but so another service that we offer specifically here at Coldwell Banker Premier is our Premier Power Marketing service. And this is not a replacement to Open House Concierge. This is a alternative especially if you would like to promote your property or yourself as an agent, and then it kind of falls outside of the parameters of Open House Concierge. There is a cost involved with Premier Power Marketing, but it is a very good return on your investment. So, and what Premier Power Marketing is, like I mentioned, it is a social ad campaign, and these campaigns can be the campaign objective can be listings, to promote your listings, or like I mentioned, your agent branding. And then it kind of branches off into lead generation campaigns and then also web traffic campaigns. You do have a choice on your runtime. So you'll pay a little bit less for a shorter runtime, say a week versus a month. And then let's see. Yeah, these are targeted, like I mentioned, targeted web campaigns, and very similar to Open House Concierge. Once you take a quick minute to submit your form, for the most part, it's pretty hands-off, and we take care of all of the heavy lifting. Yes, Tony, there is a fee for Premier Power Marketing, and it does depend. I can walk you all through the process of submitting a form, and you'll be able to see how the pricing kind of fluctuates depending on which option you choose. And just as a visual again, because I'm a very visual person, so I always appreciate to see like what are we really looking at here. So this is how the ads will appear when they're displayed, how the meta ads appear when they're displayed. And these will appear as consumers scroll their Facebook feed, watch Instagram reels, or even in their messenger inbox. And these can be displayed there as well. So there's a lot of different ad formats and different avenues for these ads to be displayed to users on Meta. And here's just some links and resources that you can kind of have access to, that you can bookmark for Premier Power Marketing. Okay, we'll go back, and I'm going to switch screens one more time, or again. And we'll go through the Premier Power Marketing order form. So these are not, that is a different option through Cold Banker, Boost Home Spotter. We use actually the same ad vendor that we use for Open House Concierge. So yeah, the ads are formatted pretty similarly. I will say that we do have a bit more flexibility with Premier Power Marketing because of our relationship with the ad vendor, and because they're just different options through, kind of pros and cons to both. But we can, whenever I send out the information after the call, I'll make sure and include some information for Boost as well, so you can kind of see the pros and cons there. Alrighty. All right, so now we are looking at, pull this over. We are looking at the Premier Power Marketing order form. And this will just, like I mentioned, just take a couple minutes. You'll go through and you'll add in your name, your company, premiermove.com email address, your phone number, and the listing address. The listing URL. So it's very important here that we are driving traffic to either the listing details page on premiermove.com. So to fill this out, you'll go to premiermove.com, pull up your listing details page, and just grab that URL, copy, and then you can paste it in this field. And another option would be if you want to have like your personal Moxie website. You could use that as well. We just want to make sure not drive traffic and potential, basically just be sending traffic to Zillow or Homes.com, or like, please, yeah, we will. If you link to, if there's a Zillow URL, we'll have to reach out and have you either, like I said, either select their premiermove.com or your personal Moxie website URL for this here. And here are some of those pricing options that I mentioned. It is a little bit higher cost for the lead generation campaign, and this is set up very similar to like the ads that you're kind of used to seeing with the registration wall. You'll kind of see them in your feed, and then you'll have to go through and the user will have to go through and enter in their information, and then you will be sent a lead directly to your email. And in contrast, so for the web traffic campaign, these are a little bit less expensive. But if for one reason or another you're not interested in receiving leads directly, you really just want to drive traffic, then you can select one of these, and it'll bring you to listing details page. Or if possibly, I guess another option, which we might have to explore a little bit, but if you had like a landing page with a lead capture or something, that might be another option, like a scenario that you could use here. This is for company use only, the vacation management. So please kind of stick to these 2 rows when you're making your selection. And like I mentioned, just some expanded options with Premier Power Marketing. There are quite a few different campaign objectives. So we can launch a just listed campaign, price adjustment campaign, an under contract campaign, a campaign to reignite interest, open house self-service. So for the open house self-service, a good use for this would be, let's say your listing goes live on a Wednesday and you couldn't quite make it in time for the open house concierge application cut off that week. You could, for the social ad part, you could go ahead and submit a Premier Power Marketing order. Another option for this would be so like if it's a broker's open, this would be a good fit for a broker's open, a commercial open house. Like those are kind of some of the different situations that that would be a good fit for this. Things that fall outside of your standard residential open houses, and when you'd want to submit or want to run a social ad. Let's see. And then, yeah, from there you can, if you have a custom audience, so let's say it's a broker's open and you have a list of agents, you can actually go ahead and upload that here. And the vendor team can work with you to create a target audience, a custom audience, and to target those agents so they see your broker's open ad. But yeah, I think that about covers it. Was there any questions about Premier Power Marketing? All good? Okay. Well then, how do we get there? Okay, so it is perfect. Let me see, I have it pulled up. Just make sure so I don't say the wrong thing. Well, it is powermarketing.premiermove.com. And for open house concierge, it's openhouse.premiermove.com. And then we will hop into the social content calendar next, and that is social.premiermove.com. And to share again. Alrighty. So many different screens. I'm kind of hopping all over the place today. But Tristan, unfortunately, Tristan is under the weather today. She has lost her voice. I hate that she's not able to share this with you, because I know like Tristan is so talented and puts so much heart and hard work into the marketing content library for you all. And it's something like she just does such a great job. And I'm always messaging her how impressed I am with her work here, and how it really is such a huge time saver for everyone. Let me see. I am going to switch over and we'll kind of navigate through the social content library just quickly and kind of give you an idea of like where to find things and what you can expect there. Alrighty. So you can, if you navigate to social.premiermove.com, you will be able to access our social content library and then our full content library here. And essentially, so this kind of covers the gamut. We have by month, we have seasonal posts that come out, which include not only the graphics that you can post, but also your captions as well. And in addition, we have, so there's cover photos, there's pop-by tags. There's some she does some really cute ones for different seasons. Like if you're dropping something off to your kid's teacher, or if you're going door knocking or whatever it might be, if you have some lots of different options for pop-by tags. And as well, so if you kind of just need a head, either you could copy and paste these as is, or if you need some inspiration for a caption. I know sometimes that's kind of, we get a little jammed up, think, okay, well, here's my post. Now, what do I say about this? And so you can always go in and directly copy and paste the caption, and it also includes hashtags that are relevant to the topic as well to help on that end as well. So lots of different options here, and we have things categorized by the different holidays, so you can kind of get in and dig around and choose which options you like. And if you click here, kind of as a, let's see, to different pages. Let me see. So if you click on the content library, it'll bring you to the Google Drive folder, and you can actually just download. You can download all the different assets and kind of plan everything out from there. So some kind of examples of what she has for May. All very cute, great time savers, great conversation starters. And really, I mean, there were, I think, are hundreds of different options for seasonal posts and holiday posts and things like that. So you always have something to keep your profile active and to kind of keep your community engaged as well. So, and then the last thing that I wanted to touch on today, or before I move on, is there any questions that you had about the content calendar, or any trouble you've ever had using it, or kind of knowing where to access things or how to post? I guess we're all good. And I have a, I will say after the call, I'll send out, Tristan made a really great video showing exactly how to go into your Meta Business Suite and post and to schedule out posts. So that, I know that's a big time saver for everyone. So to go ahead and I'll go ahead and include that as well, so that you can, as you're starting May and then June, that you can just check that off your list. Because I will tell you, there's nothing that feels better than scheduling an email, scheduling a post, and then later when you're kind of in the weeds and the thick of it, and then it pops up posted and done for you. So I love that. And so if you have not tried scheduling out your post, do your future self a favor and definitely try that. So and I'm going to, this actually will be the last time I switch, because switch my screens again. I know we've been hopping all over. All right. I did want to just take a second and talk about Coldwell Banker University. And I know that there's a lot of different between the things that are exclusive to you as a Coldwell Banker Premier agent, and then also the things that are provided by the Coldwell Banker brand. There's a massive, massive amount of resources at your disposal. I came in from, the mortgage industry, so I can sympathize with you in some ways because I'm learning, there's a lot to learn here. And if you ever have an issue or a problem or a goal in your business, and you're like, I don't know what's the best resource to help me with this, what's the best tool or platform or how to get there, you can always reach out to us at marketing@premiermove.com. Check with us, let us know what's going on. We can direct you to some amazing, amazing training with Coldwell Banker Premier on some of these different brand resources. They have on-demand training. They have live training where you can jump in and ask questions. They have training they have like kind of across all, like any scenario that you can need, all the different programs. They have like courses that you can enroll in. If there's a certain area of your business, maybe it's AI, maybe you're a new agent, or maybe like any different scenario, you can jump in and enroll in these courses and really, really, really kind of up your game with education there. So we wanted to share this. This is the May class schedule, and it really is just chock full of amazing education. Moxie, listing concierge, all of your favorite things, all of the amazing tools Coldwell Banker provides. There's really a lot here as well. So you're, kind of suited up and ready for just about any situation. So I think that is about it for my big monologue here, guys. Thank you for bearing with me. Was there anyone who had a question, or was there anything that that you'd like to run by the marketing team that we could help you with? Thank you, Teresa. You are awesome too. All of you guys. Yes. Well, thank you so much, Shante.
Elizabeth, thank you. You have been amazing, and it's been a ton of information. So I always sent people through the important links document to get to those other things, but I love that it's socialmedia.premiermove.com. It is powermarketing.premiermove.com. So that makes it easier for all of us. And I think Amelia has her hand up.
I was just going to say, I appreciate all of the social media stuff, and I use AI often enough that I can just say, make a post for this and make it sound like me. Here's the copy text, so that it doesn't sound exactly like the other agents I work with, for the people who are following multiple ones of us. And it did a really good job with that the other day. And I was going to say, I just am piggybacking off your pop by tags for lemonade. My son's having his lemonade stand open, and I was like, oh, okay, great. I will sit right here with you. And I bought little packets to go with the pop-up tags yesterday.
Love it.
Yay. Yes, we love to hear that. We love to hear that.
People like the kids more than,
Send them out on the front lines, huh? So, well, yeah, I guess if no one else has a question, we can wrap it up. But as Debbie mentioned, the links are openhouse.premiermove.com, powermarketing.premiermove.com, and social.premiermove.com for your social content calendars. We do also include in the weekly lineup every week those links for you. And then we also have, as she mentioned, on the important links document is like the most bookmarkable resources and source in the company. So if you haven't done that, we would love for you to do that. So
Elizabeth, thank you so much to you and your team and all the ways that you support us. It's absolutely amazing. And I love being able to share all of this with recruiting and people from outside our organization, saying, look at what we have. Look at all my tools. Look at all my, and it's really, agents are just overwhelmed by all of it. So thank you. Just some housekeeping items. Next Monday is Memorial Day, so we will be taking a break. We will be back on June 1st, and our own Lee Johnson from the Delaware market will be doing a deep dive into the Open House Concierge. His office has taken that program to unbelievable heights. They have crazy great success on converting those leads and working those open houses. So Lee's going to come back when he's going to be presenting when we come back on June 1st about, okay, you've submitted all of this to Open House Concierge, the leads are rolling in, now what do you do? So Lee's going to give you that next step, and I hope all of you have an amazing week and a wonderful holiday weekend, and I will see you back on June 1st.
Thanks, Debbie. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Elizabeth. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank
Debbie.
you, guys.
Thanks, Elizabeth.